The coronavirus has disrupted GP services in a bid to protect the men and women in this vital service. But as the threat receded, the disruption didn't. Folk still find it difficult to get face-to-face appointments. More and more are still asked to use phone calls and Zoom. Now that's fine for some, not for many, especially the old, the less techie and the vulnerable. Already fewer than 50% can get an appointment immediately. Many have to wait weeks. And tonight, NHS England has said regular health checks for the over 75s may be halted because of pressures caused by the booster programme. Now, that instruction from the Health Secretary that GPs should be the front line in the booster campaign at the expense of their other functions is the focus of our conversation tonight. The scale of the challenge is huge. Fully 28% of people in care homes, among the most vulnerable, are yet to get boosted. But pressing GPs into the front line is fraught. Diagnoses will suffer, referrals will suffer, more will be missed, and more life-saving operations delayed. The GPs themselves admit it will create serious problems. The Vice-Chairman of the Royal College of GPs, Gary Howsam, says, and I quote, "We can't be doing all things all the time." And the public purse glues open once again. The booster bonus is raised from £22.58 a shot to £30. Dr. Farrell Jamil, chair of the BMA's GP committee, says they just don't have the capacity to meet the new challenge, despite the lure of that extra lucre. Well, Sajid Javid remains confident that they could play a full part in delivering 25 million booster jabs by the end of January. Well, clearly, someone is not listening to someone. But it does raise once again a more serious question. What is the GP service really about these days? Is it a service from men and women that's gone from the days of Bill Simpson's Dr. Finley's Casebook or even Martin Clune's Grumpy Dot Martin, known, trusted and accessible members of the community, to a group of private businesses with their own budgets and a secrecy over their own earnings? The gateway service is slowly transforming to something quite unrecognisable. I can see the need for a short-term plan to bolster boosters, but pharmacies, walk-in health centres, service medics, let us milk them all before we further curtail the availability of our precious GPs. And once we're in calmer waters, let us ask what it is that we actually want from the GP service, which we fund, and ask for a little more candour from the government over what it thinks the GP service is supposed to be doing. Now, this morning, as I had a coffee, I saw this advert, a poster for walk-in private GP services. Prices there start at £35. Evolution or revolution? We need to pause when we can and ask about those who can't afford that. And anyway, is it what we really want? It might be, but it would have been nice to have been asked.